Ladies and gentlemen, a real pleasure to thank this fine gentleman for his contributions on this cruise. It's been lovely getting to know you and your wife on this voyage. I really want to thank this gentleman for his first two presentations and now the third of three, for his anecdotes, for his portraits, for his amazing pictures, his amazing photographs in the field. And it really is a pleasure. I hope to see you back soon on Spirit of Adventure. Ladies and gentlemen, enrichment presenter and photojournalist, Stephen Markeson.
Thanks, Steve. Hi, everyone. Well, thank you all for coming. What a nice big crowd. So welcome to the last of my three talks, and I'll take you down memory lane. I went full circle, really, starting as a messenger boy. My first job out of school, 16, I was a messenger boy in the post room at the Times. So who'd have guessed that I'd end up on that same illustrious newspaper some years later as their senior photojournalist on the staff. So some fairy tales do come true. Now, in addition to me, to my working on the news pages, I was given the unique opportunity to find my own feature assignments anywhere in the world. If you came to my earlier talks, I explained about budgets. They didn't exist. We had, the editor was more important than the accountant, and if there was a story worth covering, it didn't matter what it cost. So I was given that free license. It was a wonderful opportunity, quite unique. Anyway, I wrote about a lot of the pictures I took. I did quite a lot of writing for the paper, but more about that later. Now, here we go. There. Excuse me. Punk rockers in King's Road with the Chelsea, excuse me, with the Chelsea pensioner. Two cultures living side by side in the King's Road. This picture appeared in the Times, but I was so proud when I learnt that it appeared in a book published by the Times called A Century in Photographs, and this picture was used to represent 1987. Very proud of that. It's also on the front cover of my book, you might have seen in the shop. Here's my hero of all time. Lord Snowdon was married to Princess Margaret, you probably remember. A fabulous photographer. I mean, one of the best portrait photographers ever, in my opinion. Now, I took portraits, quite a lot of portraits for the Times. This was probably my most challenging, because it would be my hero. And we were running a review about a book that he'd just written, and they wanted me to go along and get some pictures to illustrate the piece. I wasn't writing at this point. As good fortune, I'd met him several times before. We had a few friends in common, photographers and so on, and I think I'd been dating a distant cousin of his, so we had quite a lot to talk about. Anyway, I arrived at his studio, which was at his house in Chelsea, and met me at the door. Stephen, hi, how are you? I'm so pleased you're here. Come in, lots to catch up on. So went in, cameras, and into the studio, and I started to prepare my equipment. And he said, oh, no, hang on. He said, let's get a bottle of wine. I have lots to chat about. So he went to the kitchen, got a bottle of wine, and we talked, and we talked, and we talked, and we talked. And he said, what do you think of that wine? So I said, well, it's nice, actually. He said, well, let's get another bottle. So I thought, well, hang on, these pictures have got to be in focus. And he disappeared, he came back with another bottle, and I was starting to assemble my equipment, my cameras again. He said, no, come on, let's get, so much more to talk about. Have you seen so-and-so lately, and this one, and where have you been? And anyway, this went on for ages until we got to the third bottle. And I thought, what's going on here? He's trying to get me drunk. Eventually I got my way, and I said, Tony, come on, let's get down to business. And he sat there, and this is one of the portraits I took. Well, when I finished, I said my fond farewells. I was so drunk I couldn't drive my car home. I had to get a taxi. Anyhow, next day, went to the office, went to the newspaper in Wapping, and had the film developed, and I was very pleased with the results. And I had a few large prints made for him and sent them off. Now, about 2 days later, I received a handwritten letter from Lord Snowdon, and I'm so proud of this. I still have it at home. It says, Stephen, great to see you. Thank you so much for the best portraits that had ever been taken of me. Well, I couldn't believe what I saw. And that's from my hero. And he went on to say, I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry to have got you drunk, but there was a reason for that. And he said, I was so nervous of you coming. Can you believe it? Anyway, he also then asked for this particular picture to be issued as his official portrait, royal portrait.